This is the Gary Vision Indigenous Network, where we keep it real. Changing the way we look at Garifuna is our objective, with thought-provoking conversations with Francois Estrada, The Healthy Corner with Melissa Rock, and of course, the culture meets conversation with Amadi Denzilino. We keep it 100 all the time, Garifuna Suada.
From beautiful Piney by the Sea to Morocco, Georgetown, St. Mike, Hopkins, and the culture capital, Dangriga.
This is Gary Vision Indigenous Network. Garifuna Suada.
Well, basically going on Husumwanigo, Yara Wagera Dangriga, Uganda, Saint Bailey, Paini, Barango, Luma Wadimalu, Indura, Nicaragua, Luma Laguera Trump. Good evening, each and every one of you, and we want to welcome you from our hometown, Dangriga, Uganda, Hopkins, St. Bite, Georgetown, Punta Gorda, Barranco, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, the US of A, and wherever you are globally. So welcome to Gary Vision Indigenous Network, thought-provoking conversation. We have a great show lined up this evening. But before we do, let me introduce my co-host.
Yes, good evening, Francois and viewers. My name is Amadi. Again, thanks for joining the Gary Vision Indigenous Network. We're on thought-provoking conversation. Francois, I'm ready. Let's do it, man.
All right, let's do it. Are we live on YouTube yet? I don't see the link. I don't see the link. We're not live.
It's live though. I can see you on the live.
Yeah, but it's not live on YouTube.
I had it live just now on YouTube.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I clicked on the live.
I don't. No, it's not. It's not live.
It dropped.
Can you see it live, Amadi?
I'm checking again right now.
No, I don't see it.
It says live. It says it's on live.
Oh, well, for some reason I don't see it live on my device.
But it was, I believe it was live.
All right, let me reboot this device and see what happens. Anyways, yeah, we have a great show lined up this evening. We are going to talk about belief and know. You know, a lot of people confuse believing with knowing, and there's a big difference between believing and knowing. There's a big difference between believing and knowing. Do you agree, Brother Amadi?
100%, Francois. I've been battling with that. I've been questioning myself about those belief and knowing for a while. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So we have a couple of videos that we're gonna show that are speaking about belief and know. But before we begin this segment, do we have a commercial lined up? No, we don't. Yeah. So we are going to speak on belief and know, and what are the major differences between believing and knowing. You know, I used to always say that. Yeah, and don't forget to share, to subscribe, and to like the show. So if you are watching live, please share, subscribe, and like the show. We will appreciate you for doing this. Yeah. So believe and know. Let me excuse me. Let me read the definition of believe and know. Believe, to accept something as true or hold an opinion. Believe, to accept something as true or hold an opinion. To know is to have an awareness of facts through experience. Know, to have awareness of facts through experience. Or in other words, when you know something, you are certain. You are certain to 150%. You know that it's a fact, that it's certain. But when you believe, it's not based on facts. For example, believe. If I say I believe in Jesus Christ, right? If I say I believe in Jesus Christ, can we prove? Are there facts that Jesus is really real? How would you prove that Jesus is real? So believing and knowing are two different things. When you believe, and you know what? If you break the word down, if you break the word believe down, you will see be and lie, right? Be and lie. So when I was in the military, my captain said, Estrella, let me hip you to the word believe. When you see the word believe, what do you see? I said, well, when I see believe, I know. He said, no, there's a difference. But let me break down the word believe. And he said, be and lie, right? So be, lie. So we've been lied to most of our lives. Honestly, if you take a look at it and break it down, if you break down the Bible, can we really say it's true? Can we really say we know? Because when you know, it's certain. It's certain when you say I know. For example, if we say that I believe that if I vote for the area rep, when he becomes the area rep, he's going to do something constructive for my community. That's believe. We don't know that it's going to happen. We don't know if he's going to do what he said he's going to do. So believing. But when you say you know, I know that he's going to do what he says he's going to do, but knowing is certain, believing is not. But Amadi?
I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And when you talk about, I'll say a quick one in reference to the Bible. When it comes to believing and knowing, you could start off with the idea of God itself can only be a belief, a collective belief, but it can be, in a sense, a personal knowing. People can believe in God, but one person can know, or that consciousness within themselves as God, and that person can know, but not in that sense, right? But the next thing is about belief and knowing, and especially talking about the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Jonah was swallowed by a great fish for 3 days. God created the universe in 7 days. He created a woman from the rib of a man. All those are believed. You cannot prove you can't prove it. You can only believe that stuff.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So that's when it comes to believing and knowing, and the Bible is a very great reference to believing and knowing.
You know, and talking about believe, I was talking to someone this morning. I said, yeah, believe. If your national Kuntu tells you that they are fighting for the rights of Garifuna people, and you believe that, do you have any proof? Right, because belief is based on facts. You have to show facts for you to believe. So if they tell you that they are fighting for your rights as indigenous people, where are the proof for us to really believe?
Yeah.
Right. But if you know, you will have proof that they are fighting for your rights as indigenous people. So believing and knowing, are two different things.
Right.
Let's run a couple of these videos which speaks about believing and knowing, so we can break it down a little bit more.
Between believing and knowing. Knowledge is certain. It is not an opinion. Knowledge needs to be demonstrable or able to be shown from evidence. It requires proof and has to be objective. Knowledge, we have said, is able to be proved. Belief, on the other hand, and this is the difference, is not easily verifiable. Why? Because a belief may have to do with things that are outside the power of reason, as is the case with the very object of religious belief, namely God.
Interesting. Right? So if you say you believe in God, if you say you believe in the Holy Spirit, if you say you believe in Jesus, can you show me proof?
Right.
Can you show me? Go ahead.
That's it. When you say, Francois, I think about all our people who are Catholic and Christian, and like you just painted the picture that basically belief is almost empty, right? It's just, I believe in unicorn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and as long as I tell, and if I have all my children and I tell my children about a unicorn, that a unicorn existed, they're going to believe that a unicorn exists with no proof, because they're going to have full trust in their father, in me,
right,
that I witnessed a unicorn, but I'm lying. So that's how religion works, right? You know, they use the children and raise up the children to have that firm belief until now when they become adult, it's hard to take it up.
Yeah. So believing, man, and a lot of our people are believing in a dream, right? But we have to know. We have to know who we are as a people. You have to know exactly who you are. If you don't know who you are, then you won't have a purpose. And you have to know wholeheartedly who you are, what you stand for, what you will go for, and you have to know. It's not about believing, because I said earlier, if we break down the word believe, it's a B and a lie in it, right? So, and most of our lives we have been lied to. A good example. We believe that Christopher Columbus discovered America, right?
Right.
Do we have facts that he believed that he discovered America?
Right.
You know, so our children have been brainwashed believing that the Columbus discovered America. Our children has been brainwashed about religion, right? Believing in religion, believing in politics. We all have been brainwashed, believing in nonsense.
Democracy.
Yeah. So it's time for us to know. Don't believe. Know. You have to know exactly who you are. You have to know where you're going. You have to know what you want. You have to know without a doubt. You can't believe. Let's go to the other. Let's go to the other. Oh, okay. Yeah, we are going to take a quick station identification break. Then we're going to come back and speak a little bit more about belief and know. Then we're going to go to the other video. So let's go to a station identification break.
You are watching thought-provoking conversation right here on Gary Vision Indigenous Network, providing you with positive quality shows to enlighten, to educate, to empower, and to elevate your minds. Gary Vision Indigenous Network.
I know my purpose. I know who I am. I know my strength. I know my weaknesses. I know 100% who I am as a human being, and I know where I want to go, and I know without a doubt. So I don't believe I know. And when I say I know who the Most High is, I don't believe. I know. I don't believe in Jesus. I know who my God is. So when I say I know who God is, I'm not talking about Jesus. When I say I know who God is, I'm talking about the highest God, right? So let's go into this video and listen to what C.B. Baker is talking about, believing and knowing.
Another episode of Everyday Strong. This is your host, C.B. Baker. So what is the real bare bones here, the difference between knowing something and believing something? You know, belief is basically feeling pretty sure that it will happen. I'm pretty sure that will happen, and then knowing something is for certain it's going to happen. And so, like, if you was wherever you're at right now, if you're in the car, if you're at home listening to this, if you pick something up off your desk, off the floor, or off the center console in your car, and you was to drop it, for sure it's going to hit the ground or hit the seat or hit the bottom of the car. Okay, you know that for certain. You know this. Okay, this is something you know. But if you was to go up and jump to, let's say, dunk a basketball. If you believe you're going to dunk the basketball, you have the belief that you could be able to dunk the basketball, right? Now, for somebody like myself, in my age, it's not going to happen. I can believe all I want right now. I do not know that I can dunk the basketball. I can have the belief that I'm going to dunk the basketball, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be able to dunk the basketball, okay? That's the simplistic way of the difference between believing something and knowing something.
So he's saying basically what everyone has said so far, that when you know, it's for certain, right? But when you believe, it's not factual. So that's the major difference between knowing and believing. When you know, is certain, it's a fact. You know that right now, I have this cup in my hand. I know this cup is in my hand. I don't believe it. I know it. So it's factual. But believe, like he said, I believe is not factual. It's not certain. But Amadi, you want to stress a little bit more on believing and knowing?
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, you're right. So I have an idea what I'm piggyback off what you're saying, and let's give it an example. And this is why I want to use Francois, that I think that it's almost impossible for any Christian to have convinced anybody about Christianity. And I'll give it to you in this thought, right? Now, let's say you and me, we're in a house, right? The house is closed up. I'll give you two examples before I go to where I want to go. Now, I'm in Belize, and you know that sometimes when it rains, you're gonna listen out outside. Is that rain? You're not sure. Well, I believe it's rain. Maybe it's rain, right? So now let's use the rain as Jesus Christ. You and me inside the house. You got $1 million. I say, hey, look. It is hard for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven, and blessed are the poor. If you give me this $1 million, I can guarantee you that there's a man out there outside the house called Jesus Christ, like the rain, that he would give you a greater reward. Would you give me, what would any common sense person say? Which Jesus? Where is he? At least look outside, let me see first. You're going to say, a man is outside that's going to give me a paradise, and I'm going to give you $1 million, and when I walk outside, there's nobody, because I believe. Nobody would agree to that. They would check first.
Exactly.
So they're selling you heaven. And like I'm telling you, like we're inside the house. We don't know whether it's raining or not. Somebody needs to go outside and check whether it's rain or it's just a sun like rain. Right? So again, how would you know if it's rain unless you check? How do you know Jesus is going to come back and take you to heaven?
Yeah.
It's only a belief. It's a sad belief for people who put their heart and soul into this thing.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
And I think that's why it had to be forced. Because think about it, when the colonizers tried to convert our ancestors on the island of St. Vincent, that was one of the things that they resisted too, was the religion. They didn't want Christianity. Right? They didn't want that Christianity. So that was something that had to be forced on the people to accept what we call belief.
Yeah, and then today it's been forced upon our children into believing in Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's been forced on our children to believe in the Holy Trinity.
Right.
It's been forced on our children to believe in paying homage to the statues or what have you.
Right.
Go ahead.
But this and what I'm saying, even with us right now and our girlfriend people, including my children who are in Christian schools, right? It's I don't think that, me personally, I don't think Christianity is a good religion. I think it's actually a dangerous religion because it teaches you to lie and deny the truth. From the moment you become a Christian, you got to lie and believe in God, that you know God. Oh, I know God personally, you're a liar, you don't know God. So Christianity teaches deception over deception over deception. And that's what they're going to, because when you go to church, have you received the Holy Spirit? Did you talk to God? Why are you going to force me to lie like, man, and you are grown up? That's the dangerous stuff, man. And remember, this belief system, it goes into the social fabric of society. That's why you see killing, raping. All this stuff that's happening today is in the Bible. Rape is in the Bible. Child pornography is in the Bible. Prostitution is in the Bible. War and genocide is in the Bible, and it's still happening. That Bible is dangerous. I'm telling you. People might not accept it, Francois, but like you said, being unknowing, I know that you said that the Bible is dangerous because why? We have proof and evidence that the colonizers who used the Bible. So many. You follow me?
Yeah.
You know that.
You know, when I was going to Catholic school in Dangriga, and we used to say, I believe in the Roman Catholic Church, I believe in the forgiveness of sin, I believe in the Holy Mary and the Holy Catholic Church. Man, you know what? Can you imagine the brainwashing that they did to us, believing in this, believing in Jesus and believing in the Holy Catholic Church and believing in Rome? Can you imagine the brainwashing that they did to us, man?
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing is, too, Francois, the dangerous part, they had to brainwash their own. Remember, they had to brainwash the whites too, you know. Look, this is what I've been saying, right? We as Black people often study Black history and Black culture, but we really need to start getting into European history, European culture. That's what I was saying last week, so we could see where we got our behavior. Next week, if I were to say, Francois, we're talking about the half of the conversation last week with the females last week. We want to talk about the male next week, and we'll talk about how these belief systems influence our lives today. And it's like I said again, I repeat and overemphasize that it is dangerous because we can see it's dangerous. We are Christians, a Christian nation. And a Christian nation is that this right now, this nation is a deadly, dangerous nation. Every Christian nation is dangerous.
Yeah, you know what? Again, I said believe. Believe. If you break down the word believe, is be and lie. So when you believe in the politicians, you believe in on empty promises because they're all they're going to do is lie, right? Because you don't. Go ahead.
Yeah, and like you said, they're lying, Francois. But I'm trying to think that when some other Garifuna and some other Christians watch this video, I was trying to imagine what would be the response or what would be the disagreement when I say that Christianity, this Christianity that we have, is an evil religion. What would they say to challenge that and say no, it's not? When you have so many, when you have even the Pope made all the apologies for all the atrocities the church have done, and it still haven't stopped because they still got priests that are doing rape, right, molesting children, and you're gonna still say that that's an honorable religion. If it was a school, if it was anything, and you had so many pedophiles, who would have shut it down. All would have been shut down already because it harbor a lot of criminal activity.
Yeah.
Those are institutions that need to be shut down. So you got a lot of child molester in church. All in America.
Yeah, you know what? Let me read this comment from Uruguay. So it says, some Garifuna people believe they're indigenous. They should know they're indigenous. Yeah, of course. Of course. You don't believe, you know that. Okay, let's talk about believing that we're indigenous and knowing. We know that we're indigenous because we were there before there was a colony, before there was a colony, we were there. So that just explains to you, it's fact. This is a fact.
Right.
This is a fact. You can prove it that you were there before there was a colony. You know, we got there in 1797, 1802, right? There wasn't a colony in Belize at the time. So we know for a fact, it's factual that we are indigenous. But so don't say you believe that, you know, because it's a fact, it's factual, it's certain.
That's right.
Without a doubt, it's factual that you are indigenous, you know, and hence the reason why we need to unify and fight for our rights as indigenous people, because we know it's factual that we are indigenous. It's factual that the lands were reserved for Garifuna people. Is factual. We have proof. We have proof that these lands were reserved for Garifuna people. We have proof that we were in the region before colonization. We have proof with certainty.
Right.
So why aren't we fighting?
Our people, man, our people are lost, friends. So, and again, it has a lot to do with education and what we are doing, Francois. Like I said, hopefully more Garifuna people will take up the courage to start to speak out. To speak. They need to start tuning in so they can listen at least.
You know, and let me talk about belief here for another moment. You know, it's a shame that people go around spreading lies about Francois, right? And the sad thing about it is people believe the lies. So can you imagine you are believing in a lie? Because again, yeah, exactly. You would believe what someone tells you about me, and guess what? You don't even know who you are, right? You don't know who you are, because if you knew who you were, you wouldn't sit around and listen to nonsense, right?
Yeah.
So know who you are. Know who you are, because listen, I know who I am, right? I know what I wanted to do from I was 15 years old. I knew exactly what I wanted to do with my life. And you know what? And and I'm doing exactly what I said I want to do. Even today, I'm doing exactly what I said I was going to do when I was 15, 16 years old. You know, so I know without a doubt. I don't believe.
Yeah.
You understand, Amadi?
Yeah. So, and again, we the belief and the knowing from, so it comes in many layers, right?
Yeah.
When we talk, again, we are Gary Vision Indigenous Network. So with the belief and knowing, I always want to try to tie that back to the Garifuna cause that we're talking about, right? Again, what I'm saying is, I'll say two kind of way with men and women, right? When we was talking about last, you ever notice how people raise their children? Like, you ever say, this lady, how she raised her kids, how you raise your kids, how I raise my kids, how he raises his kids, right? In a Garifuna, now think about it. Maybe let's say 100 years in America, right? Like when you got the Quakers or something. They're all Christian, right? And the entire community are raised the same way. Everybody follow up principle like in the Mennonites. In Garifuna community, I raise my picnic who I want, you raise your picnic, your daughter want to go to, your son. No, we need a standardized value and principle system, right? So that's what I'm saying about how the believing and knowing. So we're confused about who we are. That's why everyone doing their own thing.
Yeah.
You follow me? And the same, and likewise with the men, I'm telling you that a lot of men don't understand who they are, what their rights are, what their status as an individual in society is. These are things grown men in beliefs. I could tell you, attorneys, businessmen in government, I could quiz them from so, and like you say, I believe I know, I know, I do not know. I am certain of it. Because if they do know, they were guaranteed they're responding differently. That's why I know.
Yeah, but there was a time in Dangriga when everyone was raised in a certain way, right? And then we started believing in colonization. We're starting believing in the indoctrination. We're starting believing in the church. We're starting believing everything else besides knowing who we are and knowing who we are. So we've lost our way because we're not raising our children uniformly the way it used to be.
Yeah. And again, Francois, it goes along with this logic, right? That if the Garifuna men and the Garifuna women know who they are, they would raise their children according to who they are. But because they don't know who they are and wearing another person's identity, they are raising their children into that false identity. And that's why, again, I say we end up where we are, in a destructive situation due to Christianity and colonization.
Yeah, you know what? And talking about that, there's another comment from Queen Urue, from Queen Mel. She said, it's interesting that some people struggle to say out loud, know and acknowledge their Garifuna and know they are indigenous. You know what? And it come right back to believing, because we were taught to believe that we were inferior, right?
Right.
Let me talk about me. I'm talking about me, all right? Because when I was growing up, man, there was nobody in the community to tell me how proud it is to be Garifuna. So for me, again, I'm talking about me. I'm talking about Francois. So I was ashamed of being Garifuna because there was no one to tell me who I am. I didn't know who I was as a Garifuna person. I didn't know my history. I didn't know how important my language was. I didn't know how important my culture was. I didn't know. So we were indoctrinated to believing that we were inferior, right? And I know a lot of people growing up in Dangriga who are ashamed of being Garifuna, but they're not going to say it out loud. They're not going to say, you know what, man, Franz? Yeah, I was the same way, bro. When I was growing up, I was ashamed of being Garifuna because of the stigma that was placed upon us. Again, it would. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to, sorry to cut you off there, Francois, but what I want to say is this, right? You see how you say that you feel or they made you believe inferior?
Yeah.
I can honestly raise my hand to that. I recall being as a boy, right, growing up in Dangriga and going to school in Dangriga. The only thing if my memory can serve me, I know what poverty was, right? If I can try to recall, I'm talking about under the age of 12. I already knew what poverty was. I went to Belize City and I moved to Belize City and I went to school in Belize City. That's when I felt from what was projected against me. That's when I felt a sense of inferior. But I think even though I was a young boy, I think I was still strong-headed that it didn't bother me. I defended myself in Belize City. Yeah, as a boy, I didn't ever have to call about Caribbean Bluefoot 30. Me never heard this Bluefoot 36 in my life. But I learned that in Belize City.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So again, like I said, that if we don't know who we are, right, or men and women, we're going to raise our women according to who we identify ourselves. And we just talked last week, we are wearing European uniform. So again, we're going to raise our children into that same uniform, and you're going to get the same result as Albert Einstein said. Insanity, doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, you expect to get something different. Yeah, yeah.
So again, Garifuna people know what they got coming. Destruction, keep doing it.
Yeah, so if you don't know who you are, you're going to believe you're going to believe in something that's not you, right? If you don't know who you are. Let's take another comment from Queen Mel. The Garifuna people that sell their vote, do they believe the candidate will do what they said they campaigned for, or did they know and still accept the $50 for their vote? Well, it's obvious that they believe that the person who they're voting for will do what they say that they're going to do, because if they didn't believe it, they wouldn't, I guess, take the money, I guess, huh? But believe me, when you sell your vote, you don't know who you are. You don't know what you have done. When you sell your vote for $50 or $100 or whatever you sell your vote for, you don't know what you have done. You don't know all the destruction you have done. You don't know, right? Maybe you think you believe it, but when you sell your vote for $50, man, you don't know what you have done. And you have caused a major destruction by selling your vote for $50 because you don't know.
Right. And if I could, before the commercial, Francois,
yeah.
When you're talking about the Garifuna people who sell their votes, I'll give you this again. Now that they might watch this video, some of them that will hurry to do their own work. But I'll give you an example again. Most Garifuna here in Denver who have a whole of voter ID, including some of the ones who are part of the PUP and the UDP, I can quiz them right now so that they show they better study that if I question them, what does vote mean? Why does a person need to vote? And just give me even a little history of vote. When was voting passed in Belize? I know it's 1951, but I know a lot of them might not even know that. Right? And what does voting mean? Well, why does a person need to go register for vote? You could go register for vote and never go vote. That doesn't mean you have a voice. So again, a lot of our Garifuna people, including our politicians, who refuse to educate the people about what voting is. Because I got a quick example, Francois, and I'm glad that Uruguay is watching it, if it's from a Buffalo. The area representative, Zabane, says that his rating is low, right? And he says that one of the reasons why his rating is low because his constituents are saying that he is unavailable. He said that he is available because he show up on Thursdays. Now, if Garifuna people are smart enough, I'm saying, dude, did I hire you? You look for a job in Dangriga. You say you want to work at Dangriga. You get the job. We hire you in Dangriga. As soon as you get the job, you leave. So if any Zabane here in Belize, you work for Zabane in Dangriga, you could go live in Belize City and only show up for work on Thursday and get full pay too.
True.
We hired this man full time. We didn't hire this man for one day. So Garifuna people, including the NGC, I gotta put them on blast. Remember, save it, Francois. I get heated sometimes. My goodness, man, God is still absurd, man. It's absurd
Yeah.
at its finest.
I know. You know what? And talking about NGC, right? I'm gonna say this to everyone who is listening, or if you watch this recording. So, you believe that the National Governor Council has done wonders for Dangriga, right? Okay. So now, show me proof. Show me some proof so we can know, because I don't believe. I want to know. So show me some proof so we can know what the National Governor Council has done for the advancement of the Garifuna people economically in Dangriga. Show me some proof so we can know.
Right.
Right? Our viewers would like to know what you have done to advance Garifuna people economically in Dangriga. Please show us some proof so we can know. Right?
And so far from what I've seen with the responses from NGC, whenever those questions are asked, is always run around, beat around the bush, can't say. That's always, I heard that from people when you ask that question. I heard from Maurice. I always heard the same old thing. There's something you guys have done, stop trying to dig up something, because they have to try to find some type of progress. Because when you don't find progress, you're a failure. And look, Garifuna, again, these type of people, they don't like to admit failure. Just say I failed, give the thing to somebody else. Man, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But they rather ruin everybody else's life, right? Including the Ethan Cayetano's thing. Right, like I said, again, that's again a Garifuna people to call them out. Roy Cayetano, these guys need to be locked up for real, 100% sure.
Yeah, man.
Jail.
Yeah, you know what, man? They can call me out as much as they want to call me out, because you know what? I know who I am. I know what I've accomplished. I know who I am. So you can call me out as much as you want to call me out, because I really don't care.
Yeah.
I said last week, I know my purpose. So I don't care about what you, your mama, your dog, your grandma, your ugly sister. I don't care what any one of you have to say about me, because I know who I am. I know who I am. I don't believe it. I know without a doubt who I am. I know I'm a fighter. I know I'm a survivor. I know deep within my heart it's filled with love. I know who I am. I don't believe this. I know. Right?
Yeah. Well, let me add one more. When it comes to NGC, I don't even think NGC know or even believe what the hell they're doing. They're not for the Garifuna people.
I tend to agree.
And let me say one thing, Francois, just because for our viewers, right? Just briefly, I just want to reiterate to our viewers again that the National Garifuna Council, every Garifuna have to use their imagination and look at what I'm saying, right? The National Garifuna Council is an organ body. An organ body is an organization, it's a collection of all the Garifuna people in Belize, whether you like it or not. Right? It's on paper. They don't have to have it physical. It's on paper. Just like when the government get loan on all the citizens, we're not there. So NGC does the same thing. Go to the government and say, I have Francois Estrada, I have Gonzalino, I have Uruguay, I have this one. All these Garifuna people negotiate with the government. Roy Cayetano, the NGC, they all get the lead share, they get the lead land, and screw everybody in and try to do a little 1 and 2. Of course, if I'm stealing, we gotta hide. If you want to hide your money from someone, you have to put a little put a little program here, put a little you gotta disguise it. You can't disappear with all the money. So they can't fool children, adults.
And talking about the NGC, right? We paid for our membership last year, and they keep giving us the runaround. Oh, you're going to get your membership card tomorrow or next week or tomorrow. You know what? Whoever is listening, please go tell NGC we want our membership cards. Don't let us get nasty. We want our membership card. We gave you our monies, right? You said the membership card was what, $25, $50? So we paid for our membership cards. Right? And you keep giving us the bullshit that, oh, yeah, you're going to get your card tomorrow or next week or next month. It's going to be a year. it's going to be a
Right,
year, and we haven't gotten our cards yet. You took our monies. You took our monies, and you didn't give us our cards. So we want our damn cards. So you know what? Please, whoever is an NGC fan, you guys are listening to this program. Tell them that we want our cards because we paid our monies and we want our cards. If you go to the store, you buy a bag of rice, you pay for a bag of rice, and you don't get your bag of rice, what would you do?
Yeah. Well, Francois, listen, right? And I could bring it up to the National Garifuna Council again. Since 2023, right? Since 2023, I've paid subscription and dues, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've also assisted you and Melissa paying your subscription and dues to the National Garifuna Council. We are members of the National Garifuna Council, not only members, but paid members.
Paid members, right?
You requested information. They ignored it. They even said that they want to have nothing. I was told that they want to have nothing to do with Francois Garavision. However, I have a letter ready to go to the National Garifuna Council, but my printer went down, and I really don't like to use the my information printing shop, right? So I have a letter for the National Garifuna Council. This is how I'm going to play out, Francois, because I think they full bad. Because what I could say what I say, and they still have to do it, right? Because there's a law. Anyway, so they're going to respond to this letter. If they don't respond to the letter, National Garifuna Council, I'm going to write to the magistrate court, and I'm suing for receiving money by deception. And I'm for probably some investigation into the organization, because I don't know what you did to my money, and I'm paying, and I don't see anything. You guys don't want to talk to me when they ignore me like that. So we will go to court and we will go argue that day. We will show up by force.
Absolutely.
So you need to come to you. You won't come to me.
Absolutely. All right, Brother Martin, let's go into our music video for the day, and then we're gonna wrap it up after we speak a little bit more about Believe and Know. But let's go into this music video, because I know I'm indigenous, and I know I want my land. British colonizers assassinated Garifuna Paramount Chief Joseph Chatouillet. His followers were exiled to a barren island, Balisau, where many of them died. In April 12, 1797, they were exiled to Roatan, Honduras, and many of them were dispersed to Nicaragua, Guatemala, and Belize, where today, after 229 years, the original people are still fighting for their rights to their land. We must never forget our exile. We must never forget. we must never forget our exile. We must never forget exile. Yeah. You know what? I know. I don't believe. I know that I'm indigenous. I know that the land belongs to us because we are the land and the land is us. So I know without a doubt who we are as a people. Let's stop believing and let's start knowing who we are as a people. Let's know that we are indigenous. Let's know that the land belongs to us and we belong to the land. Let's just know. Okay, let's go into our Garifuna word for the day. And I forgot what the Garifuna word for the word is. The word for the day is, but yeah, let's go into our Garifuna word for the day, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Then we'll wrap it up. So the Garifuna word for the day is Abaduha. All right, the Garifuna word for today is Abahuda. Yeah. And the word Abaduha means Abaduha. Abaduha means to count. Abaduha means to count. So let's do something different today. Let's conjugate the word Abaduha. So if I say I'm gonna count, I would say Nabaduha. Right? If you're gonna say you're gonna count, how do you say you are gonna count? Abaduha, Babaduha, right? You're gonna count. If I say she's gonna count, Tabaduha. If I want to say he's gonna count, Habadu, no. Abaduha, Babaduha, Tabaduha, Labaduha. If he's gonna count Labaduha, if we're gonna count Wabaduha, and if they're gonna count Habaduha, right? So the word for today is to count, Abaduha. Now I'm not fluent in Garifuna, but my purpose here in GariVision Indigenous Network is to share the wealth, is to share the language, share whatever I know about Garifuna. Because again, when I was growing up, I wasn't proud to be who I am because I was indoctrinated into believing that I was inferior. So anyways, I know who I am now. I know exactly who I am as a strong, solid, firm Garifuna man. Someone said today, someone called me this morning and said, "Boy, you got bars of steel, brother." Because of the music video that I posted this morning, someone said I have balls of steel. I said, you know what? Listen, and then someone said that I should be quiet. But listen, how can you be quiet and you know that what's going on is wrong? How can you sit and be just be quiet and you know that something is wrong? But Amadi, you want to wrap up real quick?
Yeah, Francois. You know, I believe one of the within the believe and know, they have one of the American president. I don't think if it's Reagan or Nixon, the one who said trust and verify, right? Don't just believe other countries. I don't believe them and trust and verify.
Right, exactly.
So again, yes, I could leave them with that word, trust and verify. Jesus Christ got everything.
Yeah.
Trust and verify. Don't just go believe blindly.
Yeah. You know, and the same thing when you hear them slanderous rumors about me, trust and verify. You know, trust and verify, because I know who I am. Zambizi Cell. He said he's loving it. Yeah, brother. Glad that you could tune in today. You know, we haven't seen you online in quite some time, but Sereme Niambo, thank you for tuning in. Zambizi, what's up, Zambizi? Yeah. Anyways, GariVision Indigenous Network, where we provide you with thought-provoking conversations to elevate your minds. So again, Gary Vision Indigenous Network. And before we go, if you are watching and you are a fan in the National Garifuna Council, let them know that Francois Estrada, Melissa Estrada, Denzel Amadalina, we paid for our membership and we haven't gotten our membership, and you keep telling us we're going to get it tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. I already paid for a bag of rice, so I want my rice, right? So I already paid for my membership, so give me my membership. All right, let's wrap it up. Ranamadi?
Yeah, friend, that's it for now. Again, until next week. But again, to remind viewers, again, don't forget to share, subscribe, and help. But that's by supporting. We know again, liking it again too for the algorithm, right? For
Right.
them to work. So we appreciate that with our viewers, today viewers and future viewers. Thanks very much, appreciation.
Yeah, and then you know what? And before we go, let me just say this about the music, right? A viewer told me, he said, man, listen, when you do your show, big up your music, man, because the music is really good. So you know what? I want to just say this about my music, right? There aren't any Garifuna from Dangriga who are doing the kind of productions that I am doing. You know, if you listen to my music, if you listen to my production, if you look at the music videos, they're professionally done. They're top quality. The music is top quality. The video is top quality. Everything that I have done in the last 20 years has been top-notch, professional quality music, video, and production. So the music is bar none. There's no Garifuna artist from Belize who is doing the quality of work that I am doing. And I'm not just bragging. I know. I don't believe, I know. These are facts. And if you don't believe me, listen to my music, look at my music video, look at my production, and know for yourself that these are facts. So until then, we say peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Yo, and good night.
Yo,
And
good night.
I hope you enjoy the ultra music, some music that I'm producing as well. So enjoy.